Following a Justice League episode review in which Bruce Wayne, as Batman, plays a major supporting role, this video explores a Batman Beyond episode in which this is also the case, namely Disappearing Inque. The second appearance of the villainess Inque? That's where the episode's name comes from. And the most disturbing episode in my view. The adjective disturbing is being used positively rather than critically. The episode is a firm personal favourite, partly because of this very trait. The episode begins with returning shape-shifting villainess Inque. That's where the episode's name comes from. Securely contained, in a more gelatinous, less humanoid form, at Gotham Cryogenics, where she, while frozen, is frequently talked at by employee Aaron. After kissing the ice holding Inque, Aaron meets with his boss and is promptly fired due to his treatment of Inque. The disturbing seeds are first planted here. Aaron's past visits with Inque are never shown. His boss's disgusted reaction, inability to specify details, and decision to fire Aaron suggests unspeakable, unshowable, sinister actions on Aaron's part. Invaluable realism is added by William H. Macy as Aaron, exuding underlying malevolence and pitiful, lonely desperation. In fairness, every time one of my employees has become obsessed with a frozen, shape-shifting, animated criminal, I've had to fire them. Well, not every time. I'd have no employees left. Later, a vengeful Aaron frees Inque. Deliberately freeing an unrepentant killer seems a fairly disturbing response to loss of employment, especially after displaying fondness for said killer. The following scene offers powerful foreshadowing when an armoured Batman suit used by an older Bruce Wayne, the original Batman, before it resulted in heart complications, is shown to Terry McGinnis, the current Batman. The scene adds a relatable vulnerability to Bruce Wayne, highlighting his human limitations, adds admirability and impact to his resourcefulness and resilience, as well as palpable jeopardy to proceedings. Soon after a quick battle with Batman, Inque locates Aaron, reveals she was conscious while encased in ice, and therefore aware of Aaron's behaviour. A disturbing quality is introduced here, firstly since the idea of being able to perceive stimuli while unable to move or communicate in any way is an inherently disconcerting one. And secondly because Aaron becomes visibly worried and ashamed when Inque specifies she could see his actions. Another faint hint that his behaviour overall was more unpleasant than the emotional venting shown. Inque requires Aaron's help to become more humanoid and physically stable again, while Aaron wishes to become an amorphous metahuman like Inque, so the pair join forces to acquire the necessary serum. Inque's goals of curing herself and her unpleasant incarceration, or should I say, Inque-carceration, probably not, garner faint sympathy, though her unrepentant villainy and aggression remain apparent. While Aaron's remorseless willingness to free an unrepentant killer is objectionable, he garners faint sympathy due to his meek demeanour while facing a villain's manipulation. This pairing highlights a major episode strength: the appealingly subtle humanity shown within otherwise potentially loathsome figures adds a critical, relevant, accessible, thought-provoking meditation on moral complexity, enhanced by the commanding, vicious, seductive and tragic undertones in Shannon Kenny's voice performance as Inque. Incidentally, a visually distinctive, legitimately threatening, layered and productively used Batman Beyond foe. Interestingly, when Aaron and Inque infiltrate the serum storage building, Inque is wearing a wide-brim fedora and a trench coat, simultaneously a charming tribute to the film noir stylings of parent show Batman the Animated Series, and a striking image, creating a contrast between the pedestrian clothing and Inque's unusual physical appearance. She's presumably wearing this fedora so no one notices she's a human-sized, sentient, faceless, amorphous ink blob. After all, human-sized, sentient, faceless, amorphous ink blobs famously never wear fedoras. They prefer top hats. Once the serum's found, Batman arrives and combat ensues. The creative freedom allowed by Inque's powers is gracefully displayed in this tense sequence where Terry is eventually shackled. Inque gives only half the serum to Aaron, betraying him by sadistically transforming him into a near-speechless mutated mass. Bruce Wayne, in the foreshadowed exosuit, arrives and saves Terry in a cathartically heroic moment as his iconic theme triumphantly plays on satin-suited electric guitar. Bruce is soon subdued, and Inque's interrupted by Aaron attacking her for her betrayal. In their scuffle, Terry is unintentionally freed. He shatters the skylight with a batarang, neutralising Inque with water, who then disappears. Ah, that's also where the episode title comes from. Later, the mutated, incarcerated Aaron is talked at by an employee who's forming a fondness towards him as he did towards Inque, bravely employing a poetically ironic, sensibly judged, horrific ending. In spite of the bold body horror, the episode's main disturbing trait is the power of suggestion. I often find deliberate ambiguity more troubling than explicit statements. Thanks to striking visuals, intelligent plotting, thought-provoking moral complexity, strong characterization, dynamic action, and of course the appropriate, daringly dark, disturbing tone, Disappearing Inque is in my view an excellent episode of an excellent show. Thanks for watching, and if I don't see you next time, I'll assume you've become obsessed with trying to ascertain whether the last person you saw wearing a wide-brim fedora was actually a human-sized, sentient, faceless, amorphous ink blob. They weren't, but the last person you saw wearing a top hat may well be. So here I am, it's in my hands, and I'll savor every moment of this. So here I am, alive at last, and I'll savor every moment of this, savor every moment of this.